friends, it's Amanda here, and today we're starting a new mini series on my channel. This is something I'm really excited about because it combines a bunch of my favorite things: ColourPop eyeshadows, designing my own palettes, and learning something new. You already know, since you clicked on this video and you read the title, I am doing Zodiac inspired palettes. I love giving you my BYOP recommendations, and I am constantly searching for new sources of inspiration. There's been a major astrology trend in makeup this year and last year. We've seen ColourPop do a couple different astrology themed things. BH Cosmetics is doing their Zodiac palettes, which I find to be not very exciting. I'm sure I'm missing a bunch of other astrology themed makeup releases, and in all honesty, I don't really know that much about zodiac signs. I never really paid attention to it, never really put a lot of stock in it. I don't have any problem with it, and I know a lot of people are really into it. While it's not an interest that I've pursued, it is something that I find interesting, especially now that the theme is so prevalent in the beauty world, which obviously is something that I'm really into. I decided to do some research, learn more about the different zodiac signs and, things that are attributed to them, characteristics, colors that are associated with them, elements that are associated with them, and there's a lot of information out there. I just read through tons of different websites. I took a bunch of notes. I will link a couple of the sites that I looked at down below. I don't really know what's reputable, but I just did some Googling and this is what I came up with. I decided to do 4 different zodiac inspired palettes, one for each of the elements, so fire, water, air, and earth. Today we're talking about the fire palette. The fire signs are Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius. I started with the fire palette just because I am a Sagittarius, so I'm a fire sign. Each of the signs have a set of colors that are associated with them, so I used both the colors that are associated with each zodiac sign as well as some of their characteristics to help me choose the shades for each one of the element palettes. I did set out some parameters. I only did the 12 pan palettes, so there are 12 shadows for each one of the elemental palettes. I only used shades that are currently available on the ColourPop website. Every single palette has 6 mattes and 6 shimmers. Every palette is going to have the ability to give you at least one standard neutral look that would be work or school appropriate, and it's also going to be able to give at least 4 different looks just using this palette, so without having to pull in other shades. I really want it to be interesting, useful, dynamic, have depth, have different finishes, all with 12 shades and all based on the guidelines from the 3 zodiac signs. For the most part, each one of these palettes is going to be set up by row. So we have a Leo row, an Aries row, and a Sagittarius row. I am going to do 3 different tutorials based on each one of those signs, but I will be kind of pulling different shades from the whole palette. Like I said, I do want all these shades to be able to work well together, even though they are based on 3 separate signs. So we'll get to the tutorials in a minute. First, let's talk about the shades I chose for each one of these fire signs and kind of why I chose them. First, let's talk about this top row here. This is my Leo row. Leo is ruled by the sun, hence these really bright sunshiny type of colors. Their colors are gold, burnt orange, and royal purple, which works out well because their fellow fire sign, the Sagittarius, also has a lot of blue and purple, so got to incorporate all those colors in this palette really easily. Leos are said to be loyal and generous. They can also be a bit dramatic and a bit cocky, so I really wanted something that was warm and inviting, but also definitely very bold, bright, kind of in your face. So that's why I chose these shades here across the top row. We're seeing 20 something, running late, chauffeur, and bratty. So let's take a look at some swatches. Here are the swatches from the top row, and I just wanted to let you know that the Leo tutorial starts at the 8 minute and 32 second mark. The middle row of the palette is dedicated to the Aries. Aries is ruled by Mars, which is the red planet. And it's no surprise that red and bright orange are colors associated with Aries. That works out perfectly because orange is also a Leo color. See all these fire signs kind of sharing one similar shade. That really helped me to keep these palettes cohesive and also on theme. Aries are also a very bold sign. They're definitely competitive, intense. They're very eager, but they can also be impulsive, and they make great leaders. Red is the perfect color for this sign. So here for the Aries row, right in the middle, we have Hop On, Thank You Next, Crisscross, and Sleeper. Let's look at the swatches of those shades now. These are the swatches of the middle row, the Aries row, and the Aries tutorial starts at the 10-minute and 25-second mark. Last but not least, we have the Sagittarius row. The colors associated with Sagittarius are plum, purple, and navy blue. Sagittarius is said to be a very outgoing, extroverted, very adventurous sign. And I think these shades really worked out perfectly in my case because this is a very adventurous look for me. I don't do a lot of dark. I definitely don't do a lot of blue. So I feel like I'm really getting an adventurous look with my Sagittarius shadows here. So the last 4 shades in the palette are Pretty Cruel, On the Rise, Try Me, and Quantum Sleep. And here are the swatches of those shades. Here's our last round of swatches for this palette, and the Sagittarius tutorial starts right around the 12-minute and 42-second mark. Here's the palette in its entirety. If you want to keep a record of these shades, now would be a great time to pause and either take a screenshot or just write down the names of the shades that you're interested in. Now that you've seen all the shades that I chose for my fire palette and all the swatches, you know why I chose everything. I'm gonna show you the 3 different looks that I did inspired by my research into these different zodiac signs. I did do a Leo, an Aries, and a Sagittarius look. So we're gonna take a look at all 3 of those now, and then I'll wrap up everything at the end. Oh, side note, I'm not a professional makeup artist, so if you don't like my looks, if you think they are boring, if you don't think I have a good technique, if you have a problem with anything that I did, feel free to not comment it because I'm just having fun playing with these and being creative. It's not that serious, you know? Just trying something new. Inevitably, every time I do tutorials, people are like, you didn't blend this, or you didn't blah, 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 or you're boring. Just your comment's boring, so. The shade. When did I get so sassy? As soon as I put on this blue eyeshadow, started to get a little spicy attitude, didn't I? We're starting off with the Leo look. I am going to prep my eyes in the exact same way every single time, priming with my paint pot and then setting it with just a little bit of powder. I'm also going to be using the shade called Running Late a lot as my transition shade. This is just a great warm, toasty base type of shade, and I'm going to be putting that into my crease with a fluffy brush. Then I'm going to start building up this pigment called Bratty. This is a bright orange, perfect for my Leos out there. Just building that into the crease and also onto the outer part of the eye, and then going back and blending with Running Late. I'm really going to be layering these 2 shadows up a lot to get a really intense payoff on the lid, but I also want to make sure this is really smooth and really blended. For my all over lid color, I'm using this beautiful orangey yellow called Chauffeur, just applying that with my finger over the rest of the lid, and then using the leftover pigment on my brushes to blend out the edges. First that darker Bratty shade, and then a little higher up blending with Running Late. For my inner corner, I'm using 20 something, just with my little pinky finger, dabbing that right on the inner corner. Again, Running Late, this time across the lower lash line, And that's really it. I just curled my lashes, added some of my CoverGirl Exhibitionist mascara, and that completes this look. This is perfect for a Leo. It's bright, sunny, bold, but it's also very warm and friendly. This is the kind of look that you can rely on. It's pretty easy to do, and it definitely makes a statement of confidence. Now it's time for the Aries look. Again, priming with my paint pot, and then I'm gonna set that using my next to nothing powder just for a nice smooth surface for us to work on. This Aries look is starting off soft with running late again in the crease, but we are gonna amp up the volume a little bit here. Aries is a bold, confident sign as well. So we're definitely going to be making a statement first with this red corally color called Hop On. I am packing that all over the lid, and this one does take a lot to build up if you use a brush to apply it. So I'm just packing that on and also smoothing out the edges here first with just a clean blending brush, and then going back again with some more of that crease shade called Running Late. I really want to get this very blown out. This is going to be a really smoky, kind of haphazard almost look. So I'm going in with Crisscross now, this time on a flat packing brush, and starting along the lash line, I'm going to sort of pack that on top of Hop On and make it most intense at the lash line. I'm going to use a similar method here with the shade Sleeper, this time on a pencil brush, sticking close to the lash line and then just giving a little bit of depth to the outer corner as well. I'm also going to take that shade and drag it down to the lower lash line so that that color is connected all the way around. Then using a clean brush, I'm going to really smoke out that Sleeper on the lower lash line. For the inner corner, I'm using this reddish duochrome shade called Thank You Next. Then again, curled my lashes, added some of that CoverGirl Exhibitionist mascara. That's my Aries look. This is definitely a bold, confident look, but this one's a little bit more intense, a little bit more offbeat or in your face, and I feel like whoever wears this is going to feel super powerful and just ready to take charge like a good Aries would. Lastly, for my Sagittarius look, again, just prepping my eyes in the same way. This is going to be a very adventurous look, especially for me because I'm using new techniques and colors I don't usually wear. Old Reliable Running Late is going into the crease once again. This time I'm going to be adding another crease shade into the mix. So using this one called Pretty Cruel, I'm going to start adding some of those plummy purple colors in, but still keeping it a nice soft transition there in the crease. And I'm also adding that along my lower lash line. For this next step, I'm going to take Try Me on my finger and just sort of map out where I want my spotlight of purple to be. Then I'm going to take Quantum Sleep and Try Me, one on my pointer finger, one on my pinky finger, and I'm going to start to build where I want those colors to be on the lid. I just find that with the textures of these shadows, I can get the best pigmentation and the most control over my placement if I use my fingers for this step. So I'm just going back and forth with those colors. I know that this isn't perfect. This isn't the perfect method. It's not the perfect look, but it was really fun. It was definitely an adventure to experiment with this. And again, I just used a pencil brush to sort of pull that blue pigment down onto the lower lash line without adding any additional product onto that brush. Then I used this shade called On the Rise, and on a dampened brush, I put that over the Try Me shade to make more of a shimmer on that spotlight style eye. I also used the leftover product and put that around the inner corner, and then I used 20 something on my finger and just tapped it on top for like a layered duochrome type of effect. Curled my lashes, again added my CoverGirl Exhibitionist mascara, And that's my finished Sagittarius look. This was definitely an adventure. I had fun playing with this look. I know that it's not the world's most perfect spotlight eye, but I had so much fun playing with new colors and new techniques. So this is the perfect Sagittarius look. That's it for my first palette in this Zodiac BYOP series. I had a lot of fun creating these palettes, just researching and finding inspiration in new places and learning something new. I really hope that you enjoyed it too. I really want to keep doing this series. If you're interested in it, let me know which element I should do next. I do have my palettes planned, so definitely leave a comment. Let me know if you like this series. Are you into it? Are you deeply into astrology? What's your sign? What element do you want to see next? I always love to hear what you guys think down in the comments. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Well, that was ridiculous. Let's try that again. Well, that's disappointing. Sagittarian. Why do I have to have the most complicated one to spell? Also, I feel like a lot of the things from my sign do fit me. I do think I'm really lighthearted and extroverted, but one of the big things about Sagittarius is that they're supposed to love adventure and love travel. Apparently I'm the worst Sagittarius ever because I literally want to stay home and wear comfortable pants for the rest of my life. Not that I hate traveling or hate going on trips, but it gives me so much anxiety. I think I'm just the worst Sagittarius ever. Whew, that's a lot. ColourPop. What was that? I kind of love it. I kind of look like I got punched in the eyeball, but I'm not mad about it. BYOP palette, build your own palette. That's redundant and repetitive. I'm not even gonna bother saying the price of this because ColourPop will do 25 different sales and change the price 25 different times, and who knows? Wait until it's on sale. That's all I can say. I don't know when it will be on sale or how much it will cost when it's on sale, but just wait till it's on sale. Okay. What do you think? I think I'm gonna keep wearing this and film some other videos because it's really fun. All right, I'm just gonna, okay, bye.